Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode. Today we'll be taking a look at EVO, Search for Eden, a very unique action RPG brought to us by Enix for the Super NES in 1993. The storyline in EVO is centered around Gaia, the daughter of the sun, who guides you as you work your way through the evolution of life on Earth, which is represented by several different geological periods throughout history. There are 5 total periods to evolve through before completing your journey and eventually meeting up with Gaia in Eden. In addition to just the main storyline, you'll also be partaking in several different side stories throughout each of the periods that usually relate to whatever creatures exist at that particular time. You start the game off as a fish whose job it is to set forth on a perilous journey into the ocean depths. You'll be feeding, surviving, and evolving across several stages that all take place on an overworld map. The map itself acts as your hub between stages, allowing you to move freely across it and then select the next level that you want to head for. On top of that, you can also save your game while on the overworld map, and even check your evolution record up to this point. In EVO, you evolve by collecting what are called EVO points. The points themselves are obtained by eating and attacking other creatures along the way. Each one's meat will end up adding to your grand total that's displayed at the top right-hand corner of the screen. Different creatures give out different amounts of EP though, and when you die, a big chunk of your grand total is lost. It's definitely a good idea to play EVO cautiously. It can be a really tough game, so tread lightly and don't be afraid to save in between each stage in order to conserve your EVO points. It only takes 1 second to realize that new creature you just ran into can take you out in one shot when you even look at it the wrong way. Another thing that you'll no doubt come across during your journey through EVO are crystals. These are used by eating them, and most of the time will provide some useful information or hints along the way. On top of that, there are also certain one-time use crystals that can even revert you to past creatures that you've saved in your evolution record. The actual evolution process in EVO is pretty straightforward. If you hit the select button, you'll pull down your evolution menu. Each body part is represented here, and you're shown how many points each upgrade will take to apply. Be careful though, although some may add attack power or hit points, certain combinations can actually end up making you weaker. One of the really cool things about EVO is that it doesn't ever really place you on a dead set linear evolution cycle. It really does give you, the player, a little bit more freedom as far as just creating the kind of creature that you want to create however you see fit. Each of the 5 separate periods is also home to several boss encounters, and some of them can be really tough to get through. A lot of the bosses in the game can kill you almost immediately, regardless of how powered up your creature may be. Luckily, there is a kind of healing trick that can really help you get through a lot of the tougher encounters. What you'll want to do here is stock up on some EVO points before actually reaching a boss fight. Once the boss gets your health low enough, open up your EVO menu and choose the cheapest option. For me, it's usually just Extend Neck. When you evolve, it fills your health up to the max. Rinse and repeat over and over until the boss is done for. The graphics in EVO are pretty good. Most of the game is pleasing to look at, and I have to say, I'm a big fan of the cartoony look of the game. It does tackle some pretty serious subject matter from time to time, and the graphical style assuredly keeps it from getting a little too heavy. Now, the sound and music in EVO is kinda mixed for me. The sound effects are great and work well in the scheme of things, but the music isn't always. In certain stages, it's excellent, like the Fish Age, but in others it's just plain aggravating. All in all, it's got more good tracks than bad, but I do have to wonder about some of them and who thought they would have been a good idea at the time. Overall, EVO is a very cool and unique game on the Super NES. It's really unlike anything else on the system, but that doesn't mean that it's without its flaws. EVO is a lot like a handful of coffee beans. They both need to be grinded thoroughly to be enjoyed. It took me a grand total of about 5 hours and 18 minutes to finish EVO for this review, and I can honestly tell you guys that about 90% of that time was spent playing the same stages over and over for enough EVO points to move on comfortably. Now, personally, I love the game. Despite its ultra grindy nature, it's fresh and it's different. But for a game that commands upwards of about $100 or so, it's probably best to try it before you buy. As always, guys, I'd like to thank each and every one of you for watching and subscribing. And until next time, stay classic.